So I was in this first area for 6 months. My second area was also 6 months. When my trainer finally left, I got a new companion. And this dude, he was tall, big, very jolly, really different personality from mine. Although I like to joke a lot, I can be kind of serious. And this dude, he wanted to wake up and just jump out of bed and give me a big hug and pat my back, and he was like, "Good morning, elder." And I was like, "Oh, dude." Just chill out. That's how I felt. He didn't like how I wasn't super jolly and enthusiastic like him. And I think I was kind of a mirror. I often am a mirror in a bad way for people. Somehow they're forced to see parts of themselves that they don't like because I'm just so real and honest, I think. So we'd go around, knock on doors, teach people, baptize people. One time we were knocking on doors and we met this kid named Moises, and his parents weren't interested, but he was 18, he was interested, so we taught him the first discussion and we scheduled a time to come back. When we came back, he had a bunch of friends with him, and he's like, they want to hear too. So we gave the first discussion again to all of these kids, and we scheduled another appointment. Next time we came, there was a huge party, and we couldn't really get everyone's attention, but this redhead girl and one of her guy friends were like, how about the four of us go into a side room and we'll talk there? So we went in the side room and we were going to talk about gospel topics, but the girl was like, actually, I have to admit something. We're like, yeah? And she's like, I'm in love with you, Elder House. And I was like, oh, thanks. We're missionaries. We don't date. And then her guy friend looked at my companion and he said, and I'm in love with you, Elder. Oh man, I laughed at him the whole way home. And he was like, let's never talk about this again. If someone said, we're not interested, he would always offer to weed their yard. Chileans don't like grass in their yard. And people would take us up on it. We'd go pick out all the grass by hand and leave their yard mud. And I was like, what a waste of time and energy. Don't offer this anymore. It's so stupid. A bunch of my siblings served Mormon missions, and they would always have trouble companions. They were the good companions, and they would have trouble companions that they had to deal with. So one of my brothers said, if you get a loser companion, just punch him. And I don't know if he was serious, but I took his advice because my jolly mission companion was the district leader, and he was my senior companion. I was junior companion. He wanted to go to P-Day early to go hang out with the other missionaries. And I was like, dude, it's my shower day. I'm going to take a shower. And he's like, no, you can't take a shower because I want to go early. And I was like, I'm going to take a shower. So when I woke up, I went and took my shower. When I got out, he was so mad. He's like, we missed the first bus out. I'm so mad. And I was like, dude, shut up. He's like, I'm the senior companion. You got to do what I say. And I was like, no, I don't. That's bullcrap. And he started arguing with me. And I was like, dude, you need to shut up. And he kept arguing. And I was like, dude, if you don't shut up, I'm going to punch you. And he's like, I'm senior companion, you have to respect me. And I was like, he fell down on the couch and he's like, you punched me. Oh. And I was like, you're darn right I punched you, man. So he called it in to the mission president, and I got transferred the next transfer just a couple weeks later. Every week we were supposed to write letters to the mission president, but I was told that he didn't actually read them. He just had his APs glance through them and tell him anything that was important. So I just wrote kind of nonsense on them. I wrote in Ebonics. I'd be like, yo, what up, dog? Just chilling here with my homies. just silly stuff. So I had an interview with him, and it was after this fight, and he was like, Elder House, do you listen to a lot of rap music? I thought that was funny. Like gangster rap or something. Yeah, the second companion, I remember, like, we had to deal with each other after I hit him. Like, we still had to sleep in the same room every night and walk together all day, every day. And one time he was like, Elder House, you're so fakey. You're like a little Barbie doll fakey person. And I was like, yeah, I'm the fakey one. And he was like, why are you even on a mission? And I was joking. I was like, oh, you know, because my girlfriend said she wouldn't marry me unless I served a mission. Plus, my parents said they'd get me a new Jeep. Which is, I was just joking around. And he's like, I knew it. Yeah, of course. So I did the psychology thing that I do sometimes. And I was like, trying to put myself in his shoes. Like, if he really thinks I'm as bad as he's saying, that must suck. So I was like, dude, it must suck having to have me as a companion. He's like, yeah, because I'm so mean and I'm so fakey. He's like, uh-huh. I knew who I was. I felt confident that I was being a good person, and I did apologize to him for hitting him, even though he deserved it. But as I was leaving, he recorded on this tape. I would record tapes and send them home, and he's like, Elder House is actually a really good person, and I think he's going to be assistant to president because he's so great. And I was like, that's not my goal, man. I don't want to be assistant to president, but thanks. I actually never had any leadership position in the mission. Didn't even train anybody. I was like co-senior companion, senior companion, although that mean nothing to me. When I was senior companion, I'd tell my companion, dude, we're just equals. But the mission president didn't like me, and he didn't want me to have any kind of leadership position.